Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming back to the sessions, our first panel session on digitalization and automation, game-changing trends in HR, and what a fantastic panel of experts we have here. So the next 45-50 minutes is going to be very exciting with our first panel session because we have a very esteemed panel of experts here. And let me introduce them, and please help me welcome them with a big round of applause. Joining us first in the panel, Mr. Amit Kaul, Corporate VP HR from Canara HSBC Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Amit ji. Welcome to the stage, Amit ji. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel, we have Mr. Atish Bhattacharya, Head of HR and Administration, Somany Ceramics. A big round of applause to Atish ji. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Ms. Renu Rohtagi, Leadership Program Director from Air Liquide. A big round of applause to Renu. Renu, do we have Renu here? Oh, I think just a quick update. Renu is on the way, so she will be joining the panel shortly. Joining next, Mr. Mohit Saxena, Senior Vice President and Head HR, Bajaj Energy. Big round of applause to Mohit ji. Mohit ji, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, Mr. Amarendra Sinha, Vice President HR, JITF, Infralogistics. A big round of applause to Mr. Sinha. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next in the panel, Ms. Divya Gupta, Area HR Director, the Indian Hotels Company. A big round of applause to Gupta ji. Ma'am, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, our honorable moderator for the panel, Mr. Balamalai Ranganathan, Senior Vice President, Product Strategy, Adrenalin Systems. A big round of applause to Mr. Ranganathan. Welcome to the panel, sir. So I think we will start the panel, and I think Renu is going to join us in between. So we're going to have a cracking session here. So all the very best to this fantastic panel here. Shall we start, gentlemen? All right. So looking forward to a great session.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So before I say anything further, I just wanted to start with a small quiz, okay? So we can watch the slides here. A little quiz. Can you relate to who are these? I'm not going to, of course, because we must be, yeah, we probably, just give them a second. The quiz is not about who they are. The quiz is also not about who their boyfriends are. But imagine a college guy gets a call today saying in Radisson Blue Hotel today, evening, you will have a dinner and all these celebrities will be joining you for the dinner. What do you think the guy's reaction would be? Come on. Elated? Wonderful. Anything else? We can participate. Can we participate? Wonderful. Thanks, Atish. Disbelief. Okay, anything else? Excitement? Of course, sometimes it will be overwhelming also. So many in same table. Huh? Well, good. So, yeah, please, gentlemen. And of course, the question is not about the individuals. And don't imagine that I am that college guy. I am Bala from Adrenalin, heading the product strategy. But you can relate to me to that guy for a simple sense that while I'm not talking about these celebrities here, I'm excited to have these 6 celebrities here. You know why they are celebrities to me? First of all, I'm the odd man out in many forms. One of them is, I am not a HR. I'm a HR tech guy who always used to look for their pleasant smiles and long for their pleasant smiles. Because being a HR tech guy, HR product guy, that's what you look for them, right? So, yeah, for me, they are the celebrities, honestly. And, our CEO Mr. Srinivas Bharati is here. He used to tell me, you know, Bala, while we make this HR product, we should understand what is there in those HR leaders' mind. Those, CHROs and all those HR leaders, you should make it a habit at least every month, minimum 2 CHROs you should meet. Talk to them, find out get their mind share, knowledge, and see what they are looking for. What are the real problems in their, stuff, day-to-day life. And that's what our product should handle. That's what our product should give them the best experience with. So make sure you meet 2 CHROs every month. That's a kind of KPI he has given me. I'm so glad that I could get 3 months KPI cleared here. About 6 of them are here. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. The good thing is they won't charge me for consultancy because thanks to Sinha's group. Yeah, today it's a panel discussion. And I'm sure some of you also would be looking for this, right? To get their knowledge share. What do they think? What do they go through? How do they manage situations? Yes? Okay, so we'll first start with a round of self-introductions. Maybe you can start, you can talk about your career, whatever it is, but also keep in mind what do you want the audience to remember you about. So keep that as an idea, or how they want to see you today. Please, each one of you go around that. Also, maybe you can add what is your nickname in your office? Be it your colleagues or people reporting to you. What do you think would be a nickname? For example, nickname for me would be, my team used to call me, including my CEO, call me Balamalai. Okay, my name is Balamalai Ranganathan, but he calls me so. Of course, we call him as Idea Money. You know what? You walk into his room and come out, you will be poured with ideas. And rarely some 10% of his ideas, we make it happen. It's a great thing. But so, yeah. So if you all have a special nickname, you can introduce with that as well.
Bala sir, with your permission, I think Renu ma'am is here, so I would just like to introduce her.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Renu Rohtagi, Leadership Program Director from Air Liquide. Renu ji, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat.
So I'm glad that 6 CEOs and 6 CHROs is still done. Thank you so much, Renu, for joining us. Cheers. So we just will start with Divya.
First, okay. So I am working with IHCL right now, and it's also known as Taj Hotels. So it's a Tata Group company. Spent 20 years with the company. I'm an MBA HR, been born and brought up in Gujarat, a very dynamic state, and gives a lot of freedom and exploration to women also to explore their aspirations. And that's how I started my journey as a zoologist. I am an enthusiast, nature enthusiast. I love biology, and that's what led me to taking a zoology subject, intrigued with the nature. Then when it came to, you have to do something for survival. So that's when I aligned my role of a good human being, or somebody who loves interacting with people, connecting with them, and then pursued MBA HR from South Gujarat University. Post that, as a fresh MBA pass out, you have a lot of curiosity of which industry will really excite you a lot. And it's very, very important to find your solace, or which industry has a calling for you. It took me 3 switches to understand that hospitality and service is a sector that I want to really grow in, wherein Tata's was the part of it. In my office, there were multiple names. I think in my transition of roles, when I was heading learning and development or even business excellence, people called me as Divs. But now people call me as DG, which goes as my name as well, a powerhouse, what they look at from HR perspective. I'm someone who is very curious to explore new things, and that's where the expertise also comes in, where new age technologies are area of my interest. I also partner in a lot of projects for IHCL as a company in evolving scope of HR. HR in industry of overall tourism has really taken a leap and bound of growth, especially post-COVID. So I'm happy to be part of this journey. So that's it. Anything else, if you would like to know, I'm happy to converse after the conversation.
Yeah, thanks for that, Divya. DG. So starting with studying zoology and studying about living beings, I think she decided to choose the career to manage living beings. Huh? Wonderful. Let's probably
So good morning, everybody. This is Mohit. I have spent roughly about 25 years of my life in HR. Started my career with the telecom industry, worked in the telecom industry, worked in optical fiber cables industry, technology-driven businesses. Last 10 years, 20 years of my career has been with Sterlite and Vedanta Group, and then was responsible for the transmission business setup in India. So scaling up a business from scratch, taking it up to being one of the largest private transmission developer in the country, and then setting up the business abroad in Brazil, and then coming back to thermal generation. So purely I've been into core sectors of power, transmission, generation, distribution, transmission, all that, and interacting with people, building teams. That's been my hobby. So in this whole process in 25 years, the most exciting part has been that when you've been building teams, you've been bringing people into the organization across levels, be it the leaders, be it the young generations or the mid-level managers. The kind of experiences and assimilations which you get when you get them in give you a lot of learning. So half of it is which you learn from your college and your textbooks, but rest of it, what you call wisdom and maturity, comes from these interactions and conversations. So what I very strongly believe today is that at this juncture where we are talking about AI, we're talking about technology, we are talking about transformation, people will still remain the core. And today's discussion will revolve around how would we synergize AI and the people, keeping the people connect alive. So nicknames, I think there are many and there are long stories about it, but wouldn't want to go about it. My team and my people love to call me the Mohit. I don't know why they do that. We can have conversations separately around it, but that's simple and short about me. Thank you.
So there we have the Mohit. Thank you so much, the Mohit. Let's now go to
Great.
Atish.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. My name is Atish Bhattacharya. So I head the HR for a company called Somany Ceramics. We are India's largest ceramic or tile producing company. I am an accidental HR. I was destined to become something else, and I landed up into HR. So I always had a fascination to be in armed forces. I was there also, but something happened during my training at Indian Military Academy, and I had to quit and got into HR. So I did my master's from Excelraj Jamshedpur and then landed up with a lot of industries. So I started my career with a company called Larsen & Toubro, then worked with consumer durable companies like Voltas, Samsung, then had a stint with a telecom company called Airtel, and last 7 years I am into the Indian promoter world, so carry experience of about 21 years. Few areas which have been very, very close to my heart within HR is the HR tech piece, because I have always been an advocate of HR tech within the organization wherever I've worked. Second is I've always pushed my people to learn more and explore themselves. I think there is no dearth or no end to learning. So that is something that keeps you alive and kicking. Something what my people call me or is, so I am somebody who never stops pushing them. Okay, I push them till the time they come back and say, boss, isse zyada nahi ho sakta. So that's about me, and lovely to be here again. Thank you.
Thank you, Atish. So from army, managing national army to managing people army, yeah, that's interesting. Yes, Amit.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amit Kaul. I'm here representing Canara HSBC. So just to give you a background, I started my career with one of the real estate companies, CBRE, then moved to Indigo Airlines, had a short span of time there, and then for more than 1.5 decades, I'm now with Canara HSBC only. The journey has been great, fruitful, and as Mohit said, I'm also one of the accidental HRs. While I joined Canara HSBC, I was taking care of some other portfolio in the corporate real estate and administration, but as an organization's policies, we get the opportunity to take advantage if you want to go to some other role. So then I moved to supply chain, headed that procurement for almost 3.5 years. And then I moved to HR and took over different departments, L&D, compensation, and so on and so forth. Apart from the professional thing, I'm a sports freak. I've almost for 5 years in India, I think I have not left any marathon, which I have not run. So people at office also call me runner. Not only in terms of because of my running and all, but because of I'm always running for things. I love that because life is short and we got this opportunity. I feel there's too much to do, so why not to try everything if you get a chance? Thank you so much. Have a good day.
I'm sure he's a busy man. I was running to catch him before this for a while. Thank you so much, Amit.
Hi, good morning, friends. I'm Amarendra. I head HR for a Jindal Group company called Jindal Infralogistics. So we basically put up waste to energy power plants. So when you drive down to different cities, you must have seen the huge amount of waste that piles up everywhere. So we are into that business. We currently run 7 power plants now across the country, with another 3 to come up in next 4 years. And before this, I worked for organizations like Siemens, Schneider Electric, and Taj Hotels, common with Divya. So in my good old days, the friends called me, my peers called me AK-47, but I've grown up now. So can't disclose age on this stage, but AK whatever is okay with me. So Bala, I'm happy I'm sitting here with glittering stars all across, and wish to have a good interaction today during the day. Thank you.
Yeah, while his name is AK-47, he's a very compassionate man. When I was trying to reach him for notes exchanges and preparation for this, he realized I am not reachable. I was catching a flight and all. Compassionately, he put everything as written notes and sent it to me as well. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Renu.
Lovely. Good morning, everyone. I am Renu Rohtagi. First of all, I'm so glad to see the experience of all. I think counting everybody, it's close to about 120 years of an experience. Huh? But
hope you're not counting our age.
I'm talking about the work experience. But otherwise, you know, with the way the industry is pacing, I think every day I feel that we have no experience at all. And keeping that in mind, a short introduction of myself. I work for Air Liquide. It is a gas manufacturing industry, which is a French organization, almost like 120 years ago was built. And through that, we are almost like spearheaded into 60 countries. And India, it's almost like 3 decades by now. Overall, I have about 2.5 decades of an experience, and primarily into manufacturing. And for about roughly about 5+ years in the ITES. The most exciting part of my career throughout, I feel that not even a single year I felt that I'm being stuck being into human resources, because every year we have something or the other, new concepts coming in. But I'm really passionate for, like one of my panel members spoke about it, people. And that's where even the AI, when we look at in the AI word, emotional intelligence is going to be the king. So keep up all your competence. Besides this, on my personal side, I like my friend Amit. I am a marathon runner. Unless I will just not do something on myself, because it's a life, what he's talking about. And I want to really experiment with all that. And that's where my energy comes in. And that's my nickname. Wherever I go, everybody calls me, the energy is missing, you know. So I looked up as an energy, and I think that's the real game changer. Thank you, everyone. Look forward for the discussion.
Wonderful. Thanks for giving that special energy, Renu. And we will probably start with you only. Okay, so, you know, your title itself is very unique, right? Leadership Program Director, right? So I'm sure dealing at that level and talking about digitization or automations and making the leaders understand and then make them follow, that must be something you must be really going through. How are you doing it? What are you doing it? You want to start there?
Absolutely, Bala. So I think it's almost like 18 months by now, you know. I mean, AI, digitization, I think it's not, digitization I think we all are undergoing. But the hype of AI, initially we thought it's a fear, because the concept of AI hype started with, you know, it will take away the jobs, it will, you know, the layoffs. I think the concept we need to really eradicate first in our mind. But keeping my role, you know, my responsibility as a leader is that I need to demonstrate that by practicing by myself, so that I can make people believe that It's not a fear. It's something we all need to really take this as an opportunity to really learn, embrace that as a learning, you know. And on keeping on that aspects, and also with the credit to give it to the organizations, we are focusing into three things. First is the mindset and the awareness. Is the awareness is the right awareness to the employees? Is the mindset is there for a people to really take the advantage of the technology? Not just look it as a technology, look it as a skill, what you're embracing. And start to learn. Take a small step, bold forward. You know, so we are creating a awareness and a mindset that it is not an AI, it is your partner to help you, giving you decision-making tool. It is your partner to help you, make you more organized. For example, I use my AI assistant, which is created by myself. It took me almost like 12 days to learn, but believe me, it is helping me to organize, summarize my email, summarize my red flags, summarize my day, how I need to really make it. And I think, and similarly, teach back as an individual. We are, you know, each one of us are leaders. So whatever you're learning, teach back and create that awareness so that people who are stepping back, they should step forward by looking at your examples. This is one. And secondly, it's like we have also created, you know, it's just not that me practicing, showcasing, also to make sure that this particular awareness is reaching out to every individual. A community of practice has been created when anyone who's experimenting with any new prompts, you know, in line with your existing role, need to showcase that to everybody. Exchange your learning across cross-functions. And we are incentivizing that. Come up with a new prompt and being rewarded and being recognized, you know. Believe me, it's a game changer. When we started, we were just about 200 of us. And at the moment, in 18 months, 18,000 employees have started to use their own prompts, you know. And for that, it's important that the managers need to play a very key role.
That's nice. And in fact, you know, leaders think alike is something I'm hearing and learning now here, because when I was talking to Amarendra, asking, what do you think, rather, even in his notes, he said, what do you think are the challenges in adopting this entire digitization? Is it the technology as a hurdle or anything else? And he used the same word that she said. Amarendra, you want to go about that? It's about mindset is what he started saying. Yes, Amarendra.
Well, I go back to 30 years back to my days in Siemens when I joined there as a management trainee in Calcutta factory. And that was a day when wage slips, long wage slips were prepared in triplicate and we had to sign it off, and there were carbon sheets and I would stand at the counter and we would disburse. Of course, my job was to check if things go right and people do not react, and if somebody comes back with some suggestions, I was the one to tell them about the smaller aspects of it. So that was how HR started for me. That was when I hit my first job 30 years back. And then moving on, then there was an upsurge in digitization when we were very happy that everything is being maintained in Excel sheets. So we called it digitization. Okay, that was again about 12, 15 years back. And then we matured onto systems where payroll processing moved out from Excel sheet to, what do you call it, systems? That was a generic word that we used. And from there we have new AI systems, AI coming up to help us further. So that's the range of HR processes that we have seen in last 30 years. Now coming over to our customers. Earlier was a time when we used to have punch cards, okay? And that has moved over on to punching your attendance on mobile phones. But see the other aspect. Today is the time when Gen Z resigns on WhatsApp messages. Is that correct?
True.
Life is so fast out here. Youngsters resign on WhatsApp messages. And I think in exit interview these days we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options where one had to check why he is leaving or she is quitting the organization. I think we need to add on another option there, because that's what coming up from the youngsters. Maja nahi aa raha hai. They're not enjoying their life. I don't know why people quit these days. They just say, I am not exciting, I'm not happy with my life. So that's how HR has changed over the years. Okay, we as HR managers believed a lot in gut feel. Okay, we said whether to hire or not to hire, this decision was made on a gut feel. Okay, and from there we have moved on to a data-induced decision making. Okay, so this is again a new range of change that has brought in. So HR managers typically, I think, others can differ, from a control function, we have let it out to others. Okay, somebody else is taking a decision. So I go back to what Sanjay Kamath said. If Netflix knows what I'm going to watch next, why shouldn't an employee think what HR has to do next? Okay, so I take a cue, and I think I like this statement. So I think since we are losing out on the control function to some extent, I think there is an inclination inside us which says, why go over to it as a HR guy? Okay, there is something new coming up. Of course, it can't be trusted. So I think rather than using today's AI for correcting letters, we can go over to new things like how do we implement, say for example, in a power plant that I work in, the kind of business that I come from, what are the new changes that can be brought in terms of productivity, cost, timelines, etc., etc. With this prompt, I think there is a whole range of things that come up and set new action plan for us. Okay. I also learned that there is a course in prompt engineering. I just learned it from one of my general managers here, and the youngsters are pretty going ahead on this. So that's how life is moving for all of us in fast lane. We as HR people, well, I think we better lead the show. And rather than thinking it is going to support us, we step onto this platform and then move ahead.
So that's what you call it as digitization mindset? Okay. So, yeah, maybe...
Started off from a manual to what we call digitization with Excel sheet, and then moved over to systems doing a payroll processing, and now AI assisting us.
Absolutely. So maybe Amit, for you it would be a little easy because I think your industry has started adapting digitization much earlier than quite a few other industries, my thinking, financials and all those things. But how do you see AI bringing challenges to you? First of all, is my first take is correct? You guys started digitization earlier?
See, Bala, what you have said is right in terms of the BFSI and all. As an industry, they adapted it because regulatory processes are very much there. But to answer the second part, first I want to go on that directly in terms of AI becomes a challenge there because as a regulator, when you have IRDA or SEBI or anybody with you, while everybody wants to adapt those AI things and all, but the processes takes time. AI can give prompts, can help you to redesign what you want. But there are things which are very much in terms of legality and the compliance part is so much that at times you want to check again, check, whether it is right or not. Because it's easy for me to write, as Renu said, in terms of to maintain my diary. I have a schedule. I'm also doing that. It's wonderfully working for me in terms of the mails and all. But when it comes as a piece of paper, I have to send a note to an IRDA from HR. While I take help of AI, to be very honest, and it's easy for me because I have 3 people who are helping me out, and in 2 hours I'm doing everything and getting it sorted. But still, that check remains because we know it's not an internal document that you are going to give. It is something which is going to go and which will have implications, positive, negative, both to it. So adaptability is very much there, but as in, it's a journey that we have to feel and take.
But I'm sure it won't be as easy as what Renu said, because further she is saying now I will make everybody to do prompting and I will award them and all. In your industry, even allowing a chat engine within your premises could have been a challenge and all, right?
It is still, we have not allowed everybody, still, it is still. But taking cue from her, what she said in the beginning, only the mindset. At the leadership level, there were a few things that were asked, and especially I would like to tell to the entire HR folks this thing, that there were two things which our CEO and the management asked in terms of HR. What do you think, apart from doing the HR, what do you want to do in terms of while you are doing your BAU activity? There were two things that we took. We said one, as an industry, everybody should know their own business, because knowing HR is okay, but knowing business is more important. And second, lead the AI in the organization. That we took as a challenge, that let's, because we have a whole setup of a huge department which runs this entire AI business for the organization. But since HR has an easy access to operate with organizational employees, you go for so many things. So we said we will change whatever inductions happen, whatever anything happens, the L&D sessions and all. We'll start that with the AI only. It may be a small thing only, but let's start. Let's let people understand, because as I said, it will take time. It's not going to be an easy that today we are talking about AI and everybody is going to adapt that. Because we have a 6,500 sales force who was always on the ground. So telling them go and start AI, and also we started smaller programs, because they're training programs that right now you are asking your managers, give us this, why don't you try this? So that has helped and sorted, but a long way to go.
But yeah, but it is interesting that you're keeping HR as the AI initiator within the company. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll go to Atish. So, do you want to bring out any success that you wanted to refer about in terms of in this digitization journey and AA, no AA, but whatever, but any successes that you want to first start with, and how did you achieve it? What did you do in your digitization journey?
Right. So I think I work for a company which is a 50-year-old plus company. Okay, we carry a legacy of about 55, 56 years. Okay, so while Sanjay was mentioning, I could very well relate to this slide. So we employ 3 generations of people. We have baby boomers, we have Gen X, and we have millennials. Okay, Gen Z have just started walking in. So the challenge for us in HR is, while the adoption of HR, okay, maybe with Gen Z and millennials is very, very high. But how do we actually convince Gen X and baby boomers? Because for me, at the leadership level also, I'm dealing with people who belong to these two categories. So adoption, and typically it's, I'm sure all my colleagues from the manufacturing would resonate. So the adoption of technology in the manufacturing has been a little late. Okay, so we have been delayed by at least 4 or 5 years in comparison to what people in BFSI or other IT and ITES industries would have seen. But we have started taking those baby steps, okay, and a couple of success things or successful things that have worked for us. In fact, many of it has not worked, but I'll just call out the things that. So, for example, we currently use Adrenalin as one of our as the HRMS platform, okay, and apart from it, we also have a ATS. So initially, when we introduced the ATS and all those stuffs, okay, so there was a huge amount of resistance because everything, so earlier the manpower requisition form was just a pen and paper thing. People had to sign it and send it to the HR department. HR will do everything and then the hiring happens. Now everything is automated. So we are actually working, like Renu said, we are actually working on the mindset. Okay, so what has made, I'll just come to the outcome, but most importantly, we have actually worked on the mindset. Okay, so mindset of adaptation, why it is important, how it is going to add life or value to your life, and how so you will have free time to do many other better things in your life if you adopt technology. So a couple of things that have worked for us is, one, this entire ATS thing has really worked very, very well for us. Okay, so now people are actually doing things around it. Second is, I also have a couple of interns in my team. Okay, so they came in, so they are Gen Z. Okay, they just were doing their MBAs and just walked in. So what has worked for us is I took help from them, and using AI, we created all the job descriptions. Now all the unique 156 roles that I have within the organization, I have job descriptions ready. Okay, so that's where again AI helped us, and that is one of the success factors. Third, we are actually currently embracing an LMS. Okay, I won't name the company, but it's so tech-enabled that, so we basically sell tiles through catalogs, or we sell sanitary ware through catalogs. And these are like, I manage about 5,000 SKUs of products. So for a salesman, it is very, very difficult to remember the USPs of each of these 5,000 products. So what we have done is we have actually created a LMS platform wherein we have also integrated the catalogs of the various products. Okay, so while you're sitting with a customer's place and having a chit chat with that gentleman or lady, you can actually go and just type whatever product you're looking forward, and the LMS is going to prompt the USPs of that particular product. So it actually works like a chatbot. So I think these are the three things that have really worked for us, and looking forward to more such success stories.
Interesting. Thanks for giving that, Atish. And maybe at Bajaj Energy, so what do you think, Mohit, where you are already leveraging all these technologies?
So, Bala, to get to your answer, prior to that, I'll want to give a context about AI from the parlance of HR to people, and then we'll speak about what are the use cases we have. So, one thing which we all need to understand is that change is the only constant, which is what we always heard, and that is evident today. So, change is the only constant. The biggest threat which we have today is AI is coming, AI is coming, AI is coming. There's a lot of buzzword around it. But if you really talk to people, and there have been many panels and many forums where there's a lot of talk happening on AI, but the real test cases in terms of AI actually being seen deployed in organizations is nascent or is in bits and pieces and fragments. But the best part of it is, the AI is going to be a marathon. We have two marathon lovers here. AI is going to be a marathon for HR people. There's no one who's going to win this race. It's not a 100 meters race, and you need to kick in that 9.2, 9.3 seconds to win the race. And if you're the top three, you're there, rest are not there. That's not going to be with AI. So in marathon, you have thousands of people who are actually participating in marathon. You may have 1 or 2 or 3 winners, but rest, all of them who complete that 21 kilometers have added to the wellness. So that's what AI is going to do to the context of HR in any organization. So when we come to the use cases, we already have so many of the companies and vendors and partners who are working on digital platforms. We've heard from our panel members, like Amarendra was telling, we moved from that manual work to digital to Excel, which was digitization. Now we have AI, which is doing a lot of it. Yes, it is doing a lot of it. And with all the vendor partners like Adrenalin and others who are working with us in HR, there is a lot of transformation which is happening in all the processes, right from hire to retire life cycle of the employee. And how it is happening? Because we also spoke, and in the introduction session given by, I think Sanjay ji, he was speaking about 4 generations of work. You have baby boomers, you have Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. Everyone needs to be addressed. It's the hyper-personalization which has to come in, which will actually become the key to engagement, which will actually become key to retaining key talent or even identifying key talent. So when it comes to talent acquisition, for say, today, businesses are growing all across. We are lucky to be in a country like India, which is developing and progressing. Every HR head has a big challenge in terms of meeting the talent demands of the business. And even in the meeting the talent demands, the kind of skill sets which you need becomes a challenge. How do you get the right skill sets? So with automated systems coming in, ATS coming in, chatbots coming in, virtual AIs coming in, your recruitment process has become so streamlined that in Bajaj Energy, when we do hiring, there are specific typical cases in terms of technical expertise and skills and relevance which we need. The moment you do a posting onto a LinkedIn or any network, being a company there in this space for so many years, obviously you'll have hundreds of participants who will actually, incumbents who will apply for a position. Now you need to work with speed and agility, and you need to get the right guy in. How do you do it? Your automated tracking systems, your chatbots, your processes are so automated that out of the whole lot of data which is coming to you, which actually makes no sense, and then the HR head, the God's gut feel decides, this is the guy, and the hiring manager's gut feel decides, this is the guy, gets eliminated because you are still choosing the wrong hire. Now you have a system which helps you to actually decode who's the best amongst the lot, who fits in well, assess them through, put them into the process, get them in. I wouldn't say the probability is 100%, but you're still at a 50% best, and you've reduced your hiring time by 50%. So that is where you add that agility in your process. Then when you speak about employees, you have so many of the employees in the system. All the HR systems have the chatbot which actually talks to you. Now, all of us, we know in this age of digital era, anything which we are interacting with, you always have some chatbot which is talking to you. So in a scenario where someone as a human being would be talking to you, you will still presume that it's a chatbot. Yes? So people have become smart. When they get that responses on a Monday morning or a Friday evening, what is it? They know this is another trick of HR. They want to track us. They want to see what's happening. So they'll give you an answer. How do you feel today? 1 to 5. If he doesn't want to take a challenge or a risk on his head, he'll say
3.
5.
Okay.
And he's remotely feeling 1. And that's the story. But then the chatbots have that intelligence not to ask how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 5, but they generically design questions which cater to different work groups. Take the sentiments and give it back. Those sentiments are then actually analyzed and you get out certain inferences which actually tell you the real state or mood of employees. Basis such inputs which we get, we did certain changes in policies with respect to burning pain points of employees and launched policies back to the employees. We were not doing it because HR wanted brownie points that we've done something good. We heard it from them.
Feedbacks made you to do that.
We heard it from them and we said they feel this is a challenge. We said we hear you, we feel you, we are trying to do this. Beautiful transformation in our organizations. We work in plants. Thermal plants are actually located in locations which are very remote. So remote from the sense that schooling, medical facilities, admin infrastructure and things like that become a constraint at some points in time. And the biggest disengagement for employees become, I do not have these facilities, I need to move out. Schooling, education, medical and all that. When you hear the sentiments, do something different, do tie-ups and give it back to them, they say that the organization understands the pain points.
That's really good because you're saying instead of going from 1 to 5 numbers, I started listening them through thanks to AA. You're able to implement that well as well. Wonderful.
So probably, again, when you do a compensation performance appraisal in the organization, 25 years in the HR field, I have never seen anyone happy after appraisals. Everyone comes
I'm sure everybody will agree.
Sir, salary to bahut kam hai. I have never seen anyone saying salary bahut zyada hai, I am happy. I think there'll be that rare 1%. So when you do compensation surveys, that's the general mood which goes, and it's a human tendency. I'm not feeling well. Someone comes and tells you, sir, aaj aap bimar lag rahe ho, you're not feeling well. The immediate answer from the person is, yes, yaar, I think I'm a bit down. That's how people react to. So this is the sentiment which goes on. Now when you do analysis, when you understand sentiments of people and you analyze, you understand the pain point is only at particular points and not all across.
So you're already well ahead in the marathon, I could see.
It's a syndrome.
Yeah.
So if you're able to touch that exact pain points and bring in changes, you've actually created a culture, you brought in the transformation, you have done the right work in terms of understanding where the problem is and what solution needs to be given to that particular work group. So I think we've done 2-3 things.
Perfect. So I think taking feedback and listening was always one of those HR things. But from what I understand from you is moving from numerics to really getting the perception thanks to AA is another best point that you have adopted. Maybe Divya, while people talk, I mean, he nicely said it's a marathon race. And I vaguely remember you started this marathon say long time back, well ahead of others. You want to talk about it? How did you start your digitation journey in your company?
So, coming from a millennial mindset, always experimentation is on my mind. And sometimes time is of a relevance. So it was, I think, way back in 2016. And hospitality is a very people-intensive company and a sector. And here, choosing the right person for right job was really, really important because there are no second chance. Every interaction is the first chance, and either you fly or you go low. So recruitment was a very key aspect for all of us, and I was really thinking, I brainstormed, we had a lot of interns, the Gen Zs of that time, and then we came up with this thought that our interview technique is very, very historical and very, very traditional. why do we want to take 5 levels of panel or 3 levels of visits for interview? So functionally, somebody will evaluate, then HR will evaluate, then the deputy GM will evaluate, and the GM will evaluate. So what could be done to make it more agile and also very precise? So we actually envisioned something that why don't we look at something on a simulation front? How can we make it more scientific so that the panel also is very much convinced on it? And we created through one of the agency, again on an AI platform. I wouldn't name it here because of course that's a competition also.
But this is way back in 2016.
2016, this I'm talking about, and we actually created simulation gamified mode of recruitment and selection, wherein the employee will come and they just are given a tablet, and or the candidate will come, they will be given a tablet. You will have to take a simulation game of 10 to 15 minutes. And as a company, I know what is my value proposition, behavioral as well as technical and functional, and it gives me a scoring after that 15 minutes of interaction. It's a very nice place. The person is sitting on a couch, on a sofa, sipping a cup of coffee and doing this kind of game. For that generation, it's very, very lucrative. And it gave me a good scoring. What it did was it eliminated all those initial 3 rounds of screening because it was giving me technical ability scoring, it was giving me emotional quotient scoring and behavioral attribute scoring. And then it became very, very simpler for us to work on. But I would say yes, we were much advanced in that thought. Yes, we did it for a year, but technology was not that acceptable that time. The thought was still that, oh, I need to see the individual. How is the person groomed? How is the person talking? Body language? Are there those soft skills which can be only seen when we meet in person? So the acceptability wasn't there much, but it was very well received because it was a very different thought. I think if I did that post-COVID, when the entire industry or the nation or the world was ready to take this technological change, it would have been a success.
So timing and the readiness of the technology to support that as well were the things.
Absolutely.
As well. Perfect. So given that, Mr. Amarendra, I will go to you to say, what would you do now, given that, she started in 2016, faced challenges, held back. Of course, Atish is doing super good in we hear success stories as well. But, what would you do? Would you go and, let's say if you get a good budget, would you straight away go and invest on all the technologies and get started now? Or would you like to play a waiting game and want to see what is your marathon looks like? What is your suggestion for people as well?
I think it's the way we look at AI as an enabler. This is the thought that we primarily have. I am looking at AI as an infrastructure to support me. About 20 years back, we used to write down everything in our notebook, and we used to make a schedule for ourselves. Today, you save it in your either mobile or which has a handshake with your desktop, so you know exactly what is coming next for you or how is your day planned. So we have sort of created an infrastructure for ourselves to work better. Similarly, I look at AI as an infrastructure in the coming days and not as an enabler or a competitor to us or something. There's one place in HR where I think I have not seen much of development, and that's the human element which comes in. Okay, so when you say, for example, when an employee goes to join over a new organization, would you be like to join an organization at a kiosk? Is a big question. Just like, when we used to fly in old days, we used to go on the counter, Indigo or a Jet Airways counter, and a lady would smile. Today I jump this step. I straight away go smile at the screen. I don't know what you call it. Indigo, yeah, whatever. Digi or whatever, and straight away you are in. So taking a corollary from here, the next organization that anybody wants to join in, would you be like to welcome like this? It's a big question.
So,
would you like to go and check in and, or maybe a humanoid welcoming me? Probably no.
So what I understand here is, okay, you said I'll have a mix. not just one the other, right? Okay, and considering the time, I just want to quickly go to Renu and ask her, what is, now you have been driving this, that too in a chemical industry, I'm sure it will be very interesting. But tell me one big no that audience should take away in doing this entire digitation journey. What is that you don't want them to do? What is that you don't want them to do? What is that you want to caution them? Please don't do this.
Okay. So first is that Atish's point on the manufacturing industry. Believe me, even the manufacturing industry is taking leap on the AI. I'm talking about, I joined Air Liquide in 2019, mid, and today we are 2025. Our plants, predictive maintenance is done centrally. So there is a big shift, and just in the span of 6 years. And this is a trend, and believe me, manufacturing is going to take a very good speed in terms of the AI.
Because I was asking her, ITES and everywhere else I can understand AI being done and all. What are you doing in chemical industry? Here is an answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's one. Yeah. And secondly, which I would like to really say no, right? Please, if you are trying to use AI, go ahead. But do not try try using it ethically. Do not try to put any such information which disrupts your organization. Yeah. So responsibly take the responsibility to use AI, and do not fear to use AI. So that's the only 2 points.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Renu. Amit, what do you say as one definitely yes that they have to do?
The heart of HR is still human. That will always remain. But what I would like everybody to see is that what I basically tell to everybody, I'm taking a cue from my organization, Canara bank being our biggest partner. So you can go to old days where people were going to the banks and have those workbooks and all. Imagine one fine day everybody was asked to go and start using computers. And the people at the age of 45, 50, 55 who were about to get retired also, they were also asked. So everybody, I think for everybody at any age, I think we should have that mindset and go and at least try. Not have a fear that, oh, what will happen? What are we going to do? How are we going to use it? You try, because at every level, for everybody, there is a thing to do. I think that change is very much important.
So take the yes mind is what you're offering them. Perfect. Yeah.
You are in a speed.
Yeah, now
I just want to tell everybody, there's a recent news yesterday, if you just see, a person about 105 years old has opened his DigiLocker. Right? So this is nothing, it's a mind shift. It's a mindset.
Yeah, so
thank you.
Thanks for the view. And that's an yes mind is what you should
very much important.
Thank you. So Atish, just a quick question. How do we sell, all these AI things comes with a huge budget and you have to spend for it. How would you sell this kind of budget? We are all HR, we wanted to do things for the people, but this budget is always a challenge. What would you do to sell this budget to the management? Give some ideas to them.
So, I'll be hated for this, but everybody is running after AI, okay? So you open Insta, you will say AI. You open LinkedIn, you will see hundreds of AI courses being offered. So my only piece of advice is adopt responsibly. And it's not necessary that you would introduce AI or digitalization or automation everywhere, okay? So the way we have worked, or the way I work personally, maybe my colleagues may tend to differ. But what I've tried to always do is engaging business into it, okay? So till the time the business sees a value in the investment that you're going to make in AI, automation, or whatever it is, you will not be able to succeed, okay? So unfortunately for us in HR, there have always a race, okay, to do things as per what we want to do. But many of the cases, I personally have felt that we have failed because it was not adapted, or we didn't have the right buy-in of the business or the people who are going to use it. So that is how something I feel that you should always be a business partner. The need should come from the business rather than you prompting them that I need this, I need this, I need this. In fact, the same thing happened. So I'll give a right example. So Adrenalin Max, we had this social page, okay, which was launched, and we tried adapting it in our organization. So the adaptation was very, very slow because HR forced it. People didn't want it to. Okay, so that's what is.
So don't force from your side, make it adaptable from the business side, is the mantra you're saying. Okay, good. And so any one yes and no that you wanted to quickly say, what people should do and should not do?
I think one yes must do for anything as a mantra of HR, I would say, is be the business behind the business. Gone are the days when HR used to be taken as a support function. We are not support, we are business function. So unless and until you can quantify and tangibilize every work that HR does to the end game of how it is going to achieve business objective or organizational objective, that will be making your proposition very, very sellable, and the buy-in will come naturally. So the key indices of HRs that you track every month, how can you make it culminate into a flow-through and EBITDA margin? So try to think from that perspective first, and then do a reverse working that how this process is going to add value to it. If the process of HR isn't adding value, or if the technology is not going to culminate into that end result of a business, then scrap it.
Understood.
Take another pilot. And second is do phase-wise. Do not go berserk with just pan-India level launch. Do small phases, small pilot, test, and then approve it further.
Taste small victories and then go forward. Yeah, any closing note?
So, closing comments are like this. I would still want to be on the optimistic side, saying that the glass on the table is half full. So, I'll perfectly recommend that AI is going to be the thing. You wouldn't want to be the odd man out with the predictive and prescriptive features that AI has. I'd recommend HR fraternity that look at assimilating AI into your actions in terms of seeing what is it that it's prescribing to you. On certain aspects, no, in terms of legalities or legal issues or where you need to speak about the rules, probably you may not want to bring AI to decide everything for you as an organization. But for rest, all of the things in business process improvements, you can always try to think, how am I going to get AI into the picture? Use it because it's smarter, it is more intelligent, and it reduces time. Second, for a buy-in from the management, my thought is simple. Like all our panel members have shared in their views, don't do it all at one time. If you gulp in a lot of food, you're going to vomit it out. Do it bit by bit, do it in process stages, and before you want to do it, put in a test case or present a test case to the management as is to be, and this is what we want to achieve, and this is where we need your support, and include all your stakeholders in the buy-in. Saying that a simple process like every company does it now. Employee grievances were handled manually. With chatbots and AI is coming in, employees don't need to stand at the counter of the HR wala or the admin wala ki babu sahab aayenge aur ye sort out karenge. People need information at the click of a button. They're pretty happy to see their informations, approvals, leave, process flows, learning and development plans all on mobiles. They feel I don't need to stand here in front of you to ask me, are you sending me to a training or not? So I think we need to adopt this new wave of change which is coming. Sure. It's going to bring in positivity.
Perfect. Thank you. And I know Agnes is waiting. So but I did enjoy the celebrity session for sure, and definitely a lot of takes. So how many of you feel you did pick one or two ideas that you will go ahead and implement, or you can try or not to try the way they taught? How many of you feel it was useful, that you had some things to take forward with you? So can we all give this gentleman a good, great applause? And is there anyone of you feel, no, I'm not fully aligned with what they said, and there is something should be done differently, or this is not okay? Anybody have a different thought as well? Any one of you? Wonderful, one lady. Let's give her a big clap from our side, standing up there. Thank you so much for bringing that. I'm sure in the break you can connect with them and put your thoughts as well. Indeed. So let's catch. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And can we have another big round of applause for this wonderful panel here? And thank you to all the panel members, and thank you to Bala. I request the panel members to kindly be seated. And I would now like to call on stage Mr. Lakshmi Narayan Ulala, co-founder and director from Promiti HR. Lakshmi Narayan ji, if you could please come on stage and felicitate the panel members. We'll start first with Amit Kaul ji. Mr. Amit Kaul, ladies and gentlemen, from Canara HSBC Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Mr. Amit Kaul for his wonderful contributions in the panel. Moving next, Mr. Atish Bhattacharya from Somany Ceramics. A big round of applause to Mr. Bhattacharya for his wonderful contributions in the panel. Moving next to Ms. Renu Rohtagi from Air Liquide. A big round of applause to Renu ji for her wonderful contributions in the panel session. Moving next to Mr. Mohit Saxena from Bajaj Energy. A big round of applause to Mohit ji for his wonderful contributions in the panel. Moving next to Mr. Amarendra Sinha from JITF Infralogistics. A big round of applause to Amarendra ji for his wonderful contributions in the panel. Moving next to Ms. Divya Gupta from the Indian Hotels Company. A big round of applause to Divya ji for her wonderful contributions in the panel. And now our honorable panel moderator, Mr. Balamalai Ranganathan from Adrenalin.hr Systems. A big round of applause to Bala sir for not just his contributions but also wonderfully moderating the panel. I would request the panel members to kindly step forward for a group photo.